Bull or bear? Spent the last couple minutes trying to roll my 5-ounce ATB. Kept rolling right off the desk. Comes up a bull. Let's see what happens. Certainly looks that way in gold today. Good morning, folks. What's up? This is Brian Kuzmar. We're commercial rare coins and precious metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Got the live Viva the Keys cam up, underwater keys live cam down in, I'm not even quite sure where this is, Lower Florida Keys somewhere apparently. Beautiful weather we've been having here in South Florida. Man, we've been in like the mid-high 60s, low 70s pretty much. Man, early time of year too. I guess it's because of El Nino, I think, is going to be pushing some cooler, wetter weather down here this winter. And I'm certainly looking forward to it because it was a hot summer. Okay, let's get into spot prices here and see what's happening. Gold up, silver kind of sideways. I mean, it took that $1.50 move up last week or a little over a week ago, and it's kind of maintaining its own. It popped above 23 a few times in the last week. Backed off a little bit from there, but for the most part, kind of hanging on to this high $22, $23 range. Platinum just plain disappointing, and I'm sure palladium looks the same here as well. You know, I've been thinking platinum was cheap a long time. When do you want to buy something when it's at rock bottom? And boy, I tell you, platinum sure seems like it's been at rock bottom for quite some time, platinum and palladium. Again, I don't know much about palladium, but I've just felt that platinum is really cheap. You know, one of the things, though, I needed to realize, and besides the fact that it's dirt cheap, it also has to have consumers for platinum. And the consumers for platinum, I think, are really going to be in the automotive business and the, what other businesses that use platinum? I kind of forget, to be honest with you, but platinum is used in the automotive business, I guess, for scrubbers and stuff for automotive fumes and all that crap. And anyways, I suspect that the reason we're seeing lower platinum prices is just because of lower demand, and lower demand is probably because of lower demand for new cars, lower demand for the products that platinum is used in. And palladium is probably suffering the same thing. Gold and silver will get more of the investor bids, even though gold is really not an industrial metal per se, but silver is more of an industrial metal. But you've got a lot more consumers, a lot more people buying, a lot more investors in silver than you do in platinum and palladium. So numbers are kind of up today on gold, sideways on platinum. I still think these are all great bargains. I've said that for a long time. All these metals are on the cheap, you know. And the nice thing too is premiums are on the cheap as well right now. So you've got a couple really good things going hand in hand. You know, 2020, I think 2019, 2020, 2021, and parts up to 2022, you know, for like 2 or 3 years there, especially in silver, we've seen extremely high premiums on this stuff. I mean, you know, what were premiums at one time on Silver Eagles is as high as $20 almost. I mean, which was absolutely ludicrous. Anybody that would buy Silver Eagles at that kind of premium wasn't thinking or got really bad advice. But you know, silver premiums on Silver Eagles were as high as $20. But I would say probably average in the last 3 years, the average price was probably spot plus, you know, $7 or $8 at least, and maybe even a little bit higher than that. Spot plus 10 seemed to be the average. However, Silver Eagle premiums have come down substantially, and I think a lot has to do with the U.S. Mint is finally geared up, ramped up production, along with the fact that, you know, retail silver buying has been off here this last year, and a lot of the reason has to do with, I believe that many people that have been buying silver are bought in. Silver bugs that have been silver bugs for years and years are bought in. Maybe a little bit extra money that comes in, they may put into silver, but I believe that a vast majority of the, let's call them silver bugs, you know, are people that like to buy silver and hodl silver, are bought in, are pretty much bought in. And again, they may buy a little bit here and there, but I think for the retail end of it to pick up, we're going to have to see markets move up substantially. And remember, the retail silver and gold market is such a small segment of the paper derivative market and the bullshit Crimex markets. You know, paper certainly wags the, you know how they say the tail wags the dog? Well, the dog being physical metals, gold, silver, and the tail being the derivative paper nonsense. Well, for decades and decades, particularly with silver, the tail has been wagging the dog, and that's still happening today. That's why you're seeing still super cheap silver prices. But again, if you're going to manipulate anything, if you're going to buy into a manipulated market, and let me tell you something, folks, I'm learning more and more, there is no market out there that's not manipulated. None. Zero. Zip. If it's involving Wall Street, it's involving the commodity exchanges out there, and bankers and CTAs and such, trust me, there is no honest market that's not manipulated. None. I challenge any of you to find me one market that's not manipulated out there, that's run by these crooks. But no less, if you're going to, you know, the old days of scamming people was to get them to buy a stock, and then all of a sudden they would just dump the stock at the highs, all right? And that's actually the worst way to get scammed, the worst way for a market to be manipulated as far as buyers go, because they're buying at the top and then they're getting, hammered down. With the price of silver, it's been nothing but down pretty much. Yeah, we've seen those $5 ups. We've seen 2020 go into that $30 range for a little bit and then back off from there. But for the most part, they didn't take it to 50 or 100 and crash it back down to 20, which is what they seem to do. The scam mark, the scammers out there when they're really scamming. But the scam, the scam in this is just capping the price of silver, keeping the price of silver low, and encouraging, again, if you read Ted Butler and you read anybody that knows what they're talking about, it's just simply a matter of the big commercials sucking the managed money in and then blowing them out when prices get to a certain point. It's a rinse and repeat manipulative behavior that's been happening for decades, and I'm actually so sick of talking about it. If you want to know more about it, just watch the last 1,000 of my videos. All right, let's move along to something that I really kind of want to talk about, which is fun. Again, folks, premiums are right, prices are still right. If you can add more to your pile, do it. If you're a new buyer, you are certainly in a good position because the premiums are super cheap right now. So, my opinion for quite some time is we are in a buyer's market. We are not in a seller's market. We have not been in a seller's market in silver for a decade plus, or more than a decade. Since 2012, we've not been in a seller's market. And we're still not, okay? It's a buyer's market. So, that's what I've been telling everybody too. Hold, buy, don't sell. But again, that's just my opinion, especially when it comes to silver. Excuse me, sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that in your ear. All right, I'm going to move on to something a little more fun to talk about, or interesting to talk about, which is safes. A lot of my customers, a lot of people that buy gold and silver, they ask me, well, where should I put it? Where should I hide it? What's the, what's my best bet out there for doing it? And then a lot of people that come in and buy gold and silver from me, when they tell me, oh, I got a great safe at home, I got a gun safe or something like that. Folks, gun safes are not safe. Most of the safes that people buy are not safe. So let me go over kind of a small video here with you. Here's one of those small type security safes that a lot of people use. Now, the first problem with this is it would be, rather than break it apart in someone's house, it would be much here. Let me click on that video real quick. And
so this $60 bathroom.
Oh gosh, I get ads. Rather than, yeah, I'm too cheap to pay for the subscription. These kind of safes right here, as you see, and I'm going to show you that, it's easier just to pick them up and wheel them out the door, okay? So really, as far as security goes, this is nothing more than a glorified fire safe, I believe. It doesn't say fire safe on it, but this is probably just preventing your kids from getting into your stuff, but this is not, you could wheel this right out the door here. I suspect they do make smaller safes like this that are bolted down, but if you're gonna buy a small safe and you're gonna own a cheap, crappy safe like this, hide it somewhere, hide it in a wall, hide it behind something, put it somewhere where first they have to find it before they get into it, and then make sure it's bolted down. But even when it's bolted down, take a look at this, folks. This guy is going to crack into this safe here, and I'm going to just kind of blow that right there, with a crowbar. And what does it say? 2 minutes, all right? So even if you've got this safe properly hidden, once someone finds it, this guy isn't particularly well, he's a strong guy, but again, look at that. 2 minutes, the safe is cracked. So if you're hiding your gold, silver, and platinum, or any other your valuables in these type of safes, wrong, bad idea. The only way I'd recommend it, again, is if you had it hidden behind a secret place in a wall somewhere. It would just be one more step for them to get to it. But again, that is not a real safe. Gun safes, I hear all the time, well, I got a great gun safe, and I've actually visited friends' house and customers' homes and stuff before, and they show me these type of gun safes. How safe is your gun safe? Well, here you go. Very good video, by the way. It's got 2.8 million. It was 9 years ago, but it really proves a point here. There is a UL listed, and I'm not quite sure. We're going to get into UL listings here. But here's a typical gun safe that a lot of people buy from big box stores, and you'll see a lot of different types of gun safes in here. Gun safes are not safes. Now, what a gun safe will do like this, and a large gun safe will do, is it will slow down someone, but it will not stop someone that is actually, again, not bolted down to the floor. That's the first reason they were able to tip that over, but I don't think they needed to tip it over to break into the safe. Now watch this. This is when they officially start their time. I'm going to fast forward to this just to kind of show you how easy these types of safes are to get in. Again, no power tools. We're simply just looking at guys with some long crowbars. Folks, it's less than 2 minutes. That safe was just absolutely cracked open wide. Even if it was bolted to the floor, it could still been done. That is not a safe, folks. That is just something to stop someone from quickly coming into your house and running out the door with your stuff. It is not a safe. And if you go on YouTube, you will find that there are tons of these videos, especially these. Never ever use one of these small fire safes to put anything valuable in. Never. It's easier just to carry the damn things out. And watch, this guy is going to open it in under a minute with a freaking screwdriver. So if you think you have a great safe, you probably, well, I'm not going to say you don't, but if you have a gun safe, it is not good enough for storing your valuables. And I'm going to get into something here called list of UL, well, hang on, list of safes. There we go. That is not what I was looking for, and let me see if I can find, there we go, that's what I was looking for. Well, anyway, let me go back to that real quick, and the drinking of the word today is anyway. I'm going to have a sip of coffee on that one. This actually talks about what gun safes are, and gun safes are rated as RSC rated safes, okay? An RSC rated safe, let's see, what do you guys do for testing when manufacturer brings a safe? An attack test is conducted by one operator using common hand tools not exceeding 18 inches in length. The hammer is not exceeding a 3-pound head weight. That's not much, folks. And an electric drill. The safe door must remain closed and locked. Now, this is how this company deems a gun safe good, all right? The safe door must remain closed and locked following the 5-minute attack, all right? 5 minutes, that's it, folks. 5 minutes with a 1-pound hammer, a 3-pound head weight, an electric drill, and a, let's see here, what else are they using? Carbide type bits exceeding a quarter, and probably a pry bar or something is what it takes to get into a gun safe, all right? And if you, I'm going to go into this a little bit more and show you the UL ratings here, all right? Safe burglar ratings explained. Now, this is the simplest way to look at it. These numbers that you're looking at are kind of what you could be insured for with these different types of safe, all right? We're not even going to get into B rate and BC. These are type fire safes, these cheap little safes that I showed you. And again, the most you can get insured for is maybe 10 grand with no burglar alarm, 5 grand. So 5 grand savings, a big freaking deal. But I guess it's better than nothing, but you can't insure anything more than 10 grand. And I know a lot of you guys out there probably own some firearms, just a few of them are worth 10 grand. Your gun safe's probably not even good enough for that. All right, here is gun safe quality right here. UL RSC rated. Interestingly enough, if you did not own a no burglar alarm, and you have a burglar alarm and you have this safe, you can be insured up to $30,000, okay? Now, if you got insurance, that's not bad. An insurance company will insure you for your gun safe. If you put your gold, silver, and platinum in there, or your other valuables that don't exceed $30,000, and you have a burglar alarm, you can probably get away with this type of safe, okay? Providing your insurance company pays out and everything works well with that. But, you know, a lot of folks out there, they've got way more than $30,000 in way more than $30,000 in guns and silver and gold. And again, a lot of them are storing them in really substandard safes that really won't hold up for more than 5 or 10 minutes. Now, the kind of safes you want, I guess this is what you want to get into, and what you really want to hear is you want to start at minimum. If you go buy a safe to put your valuables in, and again, your gun safe is probably with an alarm system, you're probably good up to 30 grand with that, okay? But if you really want to protect your goods, you got to start with at least a ULTL 15. Here, we're going to hit one of those links in a little bit here, but you could be insured. Look at the substantial difference between a ULT 15 and the ULRSC, okay? That's because that's not really a safe, all right? Your house is, a hiding place in your house is just as good as this safe. But once you get up into the minimum ratings on ULTL 15s, up to $200,000 worth of burglar alarm. Once you start getting into the higher rated UL safes, $375. A ULTRTL 30 times 6 is up to $1 million in insurance you can insure your stuff for, and the insurance company will pay out if you get an alarm system, okay? That's probably the best safe you can buy. My understanding, I think the 6 means, the 6 on this means that all 6 sides of the safe. You know, remember, a lot of safes, even the TL30s and TL15s, the doors and the sides or something are the strongest parts. The bottom and the back are not as strong, but that little 6 indicates that the safe is protected on all 6 sides with the same type of armor, I guess you would call it. Let me kind of click this. I didn't really look. A ULTL15. Let's see what a ULTL15 actually looks like. All right, here you go. Interesting. Safes given a ULTL15 rating have passed standardized test, blah, blah, blah. A TL15 must have a combination lock in one left or one right combination lock. These safes must be provided with UL high security electronic locks. And I'm not a big fan of electronic locks, folks. In fact, I don't like them at all, because my issue is mechanical. There's very little that's going to go wrong ever. With digital safes, I just don't trust the digital part of it. And once you're locked out of a digital safe, I'm not quite sure how easy it is to get back into. None of them are easy to get into, especially when you get into the UL listings, but I digress there. ULTL15 must be 750 pounds minimum or come with anchoring instructions. The body wall material is equivalent to at least 1 inch of open Hurst steel with a minimal tensile strength of 50,000 psi. And walls fastened in a manner equivalent to a 1/4 inch penetration weld of open Hurst steel with a minimum tensile strength of 50,000 psi. Some of you guys that do welding and understand steel and stuff will know exactly what we're talking about. Substantial difference between that and the fire safe. And 1 whole 1/4 inch or less to accommodate electrical conductors and that have no direct view of the door or locking mechanism. Now, that is a TL15. Now, once you start getting into TL30s, TL36s, and let me go to the most expensive safe here, and probably the safest one, which is going to be a TRTL 30X6, all right? And I forgot to mention this. TL stands for tool resistance. TR stands for torch resistance. If your safe does not have a TR or TL, your safe doesn't have a TR, it means it's not torch resistant. If your safe doesn't have a TL, it means it's not tool resistant. X6 test is done on all 6 sides of the safe. And 30 minutes is a test done on the safe. This is the amount of time a safe can withstand an attack. And again, 30 minutes, you're saying, well, that's not enough time, okay? I mean, that still, seems like a very short amount of time. But you have to remember, on a TRTL 30 times 6, it is highly unlikely that anybody but a sheer professional working for the UL. And I read somewhere, and I forget where it is, maybe it's one of the links I read, that the best safe crackers in the world work for the UL. That's probably true, all right? Or the safe cracking or the safe companies themselves. But very unlikely that anyone is going to get that thing open in less than 30 minutes. And again, a trained safe cracker that works for the UL, they can't even get it done in 30 minutes or less, and they're the ones performing the test. The best safe crackers in the world work for UL, and they are the guys that are determining the test, all right? So the best possible safe you can get is a tool-resistant, torch-resistant, that is on all 6 sides, and I'm not quite sure what the minimum weight on that would be. When you start getting into TRTL safes, now you're starting to talk, used $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. These safes get very expensive, but again, when you can stick $1 million worth of goods in them, or maybe even if you determine that you don't want to have your safes insured, your stuff insured, you can't go wrong with the TL30 or TLTR 30 times 6. And again, look at that, up to $1 million worth of, the insurance company is willing to insure up to $1 million with these types of safes. It shows you how good they are. Flip back to a gun safe, $30,000 if you're lucky, and that's with an alarm system, okay? All right, so I kind of hope I made my point as far as safes go. Now, the type of size of safe that you want to have too. You know, problem with safes, again, is that, you know, they're visible, they're out there. Let me see if I can find any more information on here. They're out there, they're visible, they're, you know, when you have a safe, it's a giant target. So anybody that has safes, my first instinct was, even if it's a gun safe, is hide it. Put it someplace where it can't be seen by someone that comes in to service work on your house. You know, someone that comes in to fix something, a plumber that you don't know, or even, you know, even friends and family. You know, and again, I'm not casting dispersions on friends and family, but you know, you don't want a family or a friend member saying, "Oh, my cousin's got this great safe I saw, you know, when we were over there, and he showed us his guns or his gold and silver," to someone that may end up coming in and doing this to you right here. So my suggestion when it comes to safes, what are you going to be storing in it? If you're storing gold and silver, you know, again, you're going to want a high quality safe. You're not going to want to put it in a gun safe. Now, big difference between gold and silver, and you probably saw the picture that I flashed up here a little bit earlier. There's a picture that I took. I believe that's 16 kilo bars, all right, 16 gold kilo bars. There's a quarter for comparison. That's $1 million worth of gold at today's prices, just a tad over $1 million, 16 kilos I think it is, all right? There is a 2-slice toaster that I have in my office. I know it's looking a little nappy there, but I use my stuff. So, and people say, why do you have a toaster in your office? Oh, well, I eat here sometimes. But there is 16 kilo bars right there. That would, $1 million worth of gold that'll fit in a 2-slice toaster. There's another picture of $1 million worth of gold that'll fit in a 2-slice toaster, and that's no taller than a beer bottle. Wherever you could fit that beer bottle, you could almost fit $1 million worth of gold at today's prices. Now, I'm bringing this up for a reason. Gold is much easier to store. Gold is much easier to hide. You know, if you don't have a safe, you know, again, let me back up here. Don't use safe deposit boxes. Never put your stuff in safe deposit boxes. The worst place to put it. You know, if you took a look at those private safe deposit boxes out in Hollywood, California, a couple years ago, where the FBI went in there and just assumed that everybody had stuff in there that was illegal, confiscated everybody's. I did a video on it a few weeks ago, Never Trust the FBI or something like that. But the FBI went into private safe deposit boxes, opened them all up, confiscated everything in there, and basically said that if you didn't have proof that you owned it legally and you got it legally, they were going to keep it. I think they've gotten a lot of flack on that, and you know, their stance may have changed a little bit, maybe. I'm not quite sure, but do not trust safe deposit boxes to put your gold, silver, and platinum. Don't trust them, folks. Trust me on that. Hide it in your home. If you don't own a home, you know, you could take this, make a small opening in your wall behind an outlet, and hide it inside the wall. You know what I'm saying? You could hide the stuff under a floorboard. You could hide the stuff in an attic. You could hide it anywhere. You could hide $1 million worth of gold where it'd be very difficult for anyone to find it. But silver, not so much. Remember that silver is probably, well, here, we'll do the ratio. What is it? Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting what the gold to silver ratio is right now. I haven't done it in a little while. 1950 divided by 23.
It's approximately 84.7826.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know exactly what it was, but around 84, the ratio is 84 to 1. So what does that really mean? That means that picture 84 times this amount, and that's what silver would be. Much harder to store, and when you're starting to store silver, this is where you're going to want to, you know, again, buy a better safe or find a better hiding place. Do not use your, please don't use your gun safes to put this stuff in. And I'm even going to ask you not to use your gun safes if you've got more that can be insured. You know, if you got $100,000 worth of rare guns, and the best you could get insured for your gun safe is $30,000, then you're certainly uninsured. And most of you are going to have big ass gun safes that you can fit rifles in. Where are you going to put that? My suggestion is, if you're going to keep expensive guns, then go buy a real TR safe, or at least a TL safe where it'd be hard to get into. Gun safes are easy to break into. Or find a good hiding place to put your big, tall gun safe. Build a fake wall, build a false wall somewhere, stick it behind there. But folks, gun safes, are not safe. They're not safe, period. You can break into them easily. An amateur could break into them in less than an hour, we saw someone being broken into for a couple minutes. So, your gun safe is not safe. All right, I hope I got into, help you out with that a little bit. I was going to go into last week's video, but real quickly, I want to go over some premiums and best deals out there. Man, the premiums across the board on all the gold and silver products. Less than 2 1/4 on 1 ounce rounds, less than 2 1/4 on tens and kilos, and in quantities you can get them for like $1.95 or less. That's for gold kilos, 100 ounce bars, 10 ounce bars, and 1 ounce rounds. American Eagles have even dropped. I've got a special right now. While I have them, I'm going to have them at spot plus, I think $5 or $5.50 or something like that. I'm running some specials now also on some earlier Australian products. So if you like koalas or kookaburras and those kind of things, I've got a blowout deal. The cheapest online, they're like $33, $35. I got them for $29 here while they last. I just want to get rid of that stuff. A lot of people collect those things too. Is it a great silver investment? Nah, a little bit overpriced with that kind of premium for sure. Again, I've got a lot of this collector type stuff that people like to buy just to complete their collections. I need to own a kookaburra or a complete set of kookaburras or something. But I got them on sale, $29 while I'm blowing them out. Rather sell them to you guys than other dealers. Gold, it seems like the premiums on gold have gone up just a tiny bit too. Gold Eagles, I think they were at like spot plus $123. I think they're closer to $125 or $130 over on average. For larger quantities, you can get them a little cheaper than that. The best buys out there are still gold bars at plus 80. Krugerrands, Maples, they're in the I think they're in the $85 to $100 range over spot. Again, depends on the quantities that you're looking to buy. So a lot, again, premiums are really cheap out there. So if you haven't blew all your money yet and you're still buying gold, and silver, and platinum, it's really, pardon the expression, a golden opportunity to buy this stuff at really super cheap premiums. And I still think the price of gold, even though it's back up $100, is still super cheap in my opinion. I'd like to thank everybody for watching last week's video, which was Israeli-Hamas war. Is it a black swan event? I didn't believe it is. I think that it did cause a bid up on the price of gold, but gold, silver prices, especially silver, is primarily run by, again, the crooked, manipulative commercial banks in the Crimex derivative paper market. It is not run, it's not a natural market, it's not organic at all. It's not, when you see the silver price drop $1 or $2, it is not a bunch of your fellow silver investors and people that have invested in silver and own silver saying, oh, I'm done, I'm over, I'm selling. And besides, we represent such a small part of that market. It is merely, when you see silver prices down, and gold for the most part, it is just bullshit manipulation in the Crimex derivative paper markets in silver. It's been happening for decades, still happening today. Take advantage of it. Buy the dips when you can. And even if you don't buy the dips, you're buying the highs of late, of the last couple years, you're still okay. It's still super cheap in my opinion. And we will wake up. We'll have our oh crap moment at some point. Let me go over a few questions here. I haven't had a chance to do that in a little while. A few comments that people have made out here. And I'll go to the bottom here and start from there and work my way up. Not too many, actually. Thank you. Appreciate that. I got a little fishing done last week, and I plan on doing actually some this weekend. I'm going to go visit another state park. I've got a goal to visit every Florida state park here. And I think I've got I don't even know how many I've got, probably a half a dozen of them done already. Brian, when the big dogs run out of 1,000-ounce bars, perhaps we stack and provide them with 100-ounce, 10-ounce, 1-ounce products at $199 over spot. You're probably not too far off from the truth there, Silver Cobra. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the comment. Christopher Garland says, I hate when I hear guys say that our LCS should be able to beat the online dealers. Mine typically can't even get close, and they always charge a lot more. My only choice is to major shop between a dozen online. Yeah, that's, my first thought, well, if you live in South Florida, obviously, I'd like to tell you that I'm the place to come to. And of course, I'm selling myself, but I do beat APMEX, SD, JM Bullion, and some of the other online sellers. You can't beat everybody. And I do beat the locals, and we give good advice, which you can't get from the online resellers. You can't get a face-to-face person. You can't make any relationships with the online people, all right? It just doesn't happen. You might meet someone down there, you call and say, hey, Jim, how you doing? Ship me. But you're never going to develop a good relationship with the online people. The only only way to develop a good relationship is find yourself a good local dealer if you can find one, all right? And if you can't find one, I don't know what to tell you. Travel. Go another hour. Travel outside your normal area. Because when it comes to buying, yeah, you can buy online cheaply from the guys, at Mex, SD, and JM if you don't have a good local dealer. But who are you going to sell to when time comes to sell? You're going to put your stuff in the mail and wrap it up and send it back to these guys? A lot of people don't have the huevos for that. So I think that is why I'm recommending finding yourself a good local dealer, even if you have to drive an hour or more to find one. You don't have to go there all the time. Just establish yourself at a local dealer, again, even if you have to drive. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum, as you know, if you live in South Florida, anywhere in South Florida, we beat APMEX, SD, and JM prices. We also beat the locals as well. And again, I recommend you find a good local shop that does the same thing we do. And if you're looking to buy larger quantities and you can't find a good local dealer, and rather than buying online from APMEX, SD, and JM, we'll beat their prices. We can ship to you as well. Again, on larger deals, I'm probably talking, people buying larger amounts of gold, larger amounts of silver. I'm not set up to do smaller deal, folks, unfortunately. Thanks for the comment there, Christopher. I appreciate that. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Absolutely, sir. Cheers to you, Christopher McCormick. Thank you. I appreciate you guys like my videos. And, man, I've only been producing one a week here, but just trying to think of good content, things to talk about that I haven't said a million frickin' times in the last couple years that I've been doing these videos. For me, I just hate redundancy. And it seems like a lot of times in life, especially with the silver market, it's just redundant bullshit, same shit all the time. And even I get sick of talking about it. So I gotta tell you, I have been a bit lacking in my production of videos, but I just got to figure out different topics. Silverliner, what's up? Hey, I wish you had gotten a chance to stop by. And, oh, cool. And asked what to invest in, silver. One of my favorite commenters out there and a long-time listener, Silverliner. Thank you very much. Can anyone show me evidence of a physical shortage? Interesting question. Can anyone show me evidence of a physical shortage? I think you really have to trust people that are in the know on this stuff. And when it comes to the physical shortage that is happening right now, and there is a physical shortage, not on the retail side of it, but in the larger 1,000-ounce silver bar market, I listen to guys like Ted Butler. I think Ted Butler, he's got, 4 decades of experience of doing this. I mean, he understands these markets. He understands the derivative markets, the CO2 reports, probably better than anyone out there in YouTube land, okay? Twitter land, YouTube land, you name it. Ted Butler's probably the smartest one out there. And when Ted Butler says that he's seeing evidence of large physical shortages in silver, that's evidence enough for me because I know he's done his homework. And that's probably the best I can tell you, for Baron Flory. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate that. Michael Matthews, what's up? How you doing? Sip of coffee to you as well. Give me one sec. Yeah, man. I've been avoiding, a lot of you guys know I used to get really heavily into political stuff and talk a lot about politics in my past videos. Probably another reason I haven't done as many videos, but you know what? I get tired of hearing it, even tired of talking about it. I mean, every day you wake up and you get bombarded with this, news war and all the nonsense that goes on with the crooks in Washington, D.C. and the crooks in the military-industrial complex, and the crooks in the international political world, and the crooks in the CME group, the crooks in Wall Street. I mean, how many times can you talk about this stuff, And maybe that's the reason I've laid off a little bit. I'm just so sick of it all. But if I'm sick of it, hearing it, I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing it as well. And why am I going to sit here and repeat stuff that we're all sick of hearing? Maybe I'll get back into it. I don't know. The price and manipulation of silver is for the benefit of paper silver. Yeah, of course. What the banks seem to be doing exactly what the Hunt brothers. No big fundamental difference there, Paul. The Hunt brothers actually followed the rules. The Hunt brothers went out and bought up all the silver and then demanded delivery with their contracts and created a big stir. The problem with that right now, and the Hunt brothers the Hunt brothers did everything legally. I'm sorry. There was no really price manipulation per se there. they took the COMEX rules and the COMEX markets, and they knew that COMEX was short silver, that COMEX didn't have the silver to back up their contracts. So the Hunt brothers knew that there wasn't a lot of above ground silver at the time. They went up and bought all the above ground silver that they possibly could. Then they started demanding delivery on their contracts. At that time, there was not much silver for the COMEX group to buy and the other commodity industry people to buy. So the price was just going up, gosh, you remember that time too. The price was just going up like a rocket, But we'll see that again. I think that's going to happen again. It happened in 2012 again. And they've not fixed anything, so why wouldn't it happen? We're going to see it again. Notice a new, this new war did take the heat off of that particular problem for damn sure. And you got to wonder sometimes about that, And that's the way it seems for the last 3 or 4 years since the Critter 19 is that once a scandal breaks out, there's some new big news or a war or something that takes precedent over that. I mean, I still want to know who killed Epstein. I still want to know, who killed Seth Green. I still want to know who released the Critter 19. I still want to know. None of these questions are being answered. I still want to know why they didn't do something about Burisma back in before the election started. Why are they acting like that's something new? I mean, come on. But they keep bombarding us with new stuff. All of a sudden now the Ukraine war is not a big issue anymore. Now it's the new war. Now nobody's thinking about this particular thing, the impeachment. Come on, it's just I think you almost think it's purposely done. How many those have been blown up in the last few months with about 500 ounces silver for each explosive capability? That stuff will never be recovered, Paul. We've talked about that in the past. A lot of silver is never recovered. A lot of silver is used in silver solder. A lot of silver solder is thrown away in landfills. It will never be recovered, at least in our lifetime. So, silver is one of those. Gold is always recovered for the most part. Very little gold is thrown away. Very little gold is in landfills because it's always recovered. Silver, no. Silver gets thrown away. So, there's a lot of factors that are pointing to the fact that we are going to have a huge shortage of physical silver at some point. It is going to have to cause the market to go up because there's no other place to go when they can't supply the actual commodity itself. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure you do visit me. That was 2 days ago, so I guess you're still in town. I'll be here today and tomorrow. Just ask for me if you come in and you don't see me. I'll come down and say hello. Colin says he hasn't found a good local shop here. I've looked. The nearest guy told me he wasn't competitive with APMEX. Well, some guys just, I don't know. Some coin shops just don't get it, man. You're going to go obsolete if you can't compete with the people online. You can't stay in business if you can't compete with the online people. And what a lot of coin shops and a lot of brick and mortar stores, they don't even have to be in the gold and silver business, forget, is that you have a distinct advantage, okay? Your distinct advantage is you have a brick and mortar. You can develop relationships face to face. You can have product that people can come in and touch. And on top of that, if you're competitive, they will come in. If you're competitive, they won't order online. If you give good service, they'll come in, all right? I just don't get why local dealers have not got that yet. But there's a lot of old school people out there, and there's a lot of people that they're just not business people, all right? Don't know who they are, but I do hope you get your product there. And again, the nice thing about local businesses is you go in, you pick it up, and you walk out. Or you go in, they don't have it, they order it, and when they get it in the following week, you'll walk out. Doesn't get much better than that. And as I said, you're going to need to sell this stuff. Develop a good relationship. My advice, Colin, is to take an extra drive, take a little bit longer drive. Go on Google Maps, start looking for some places that are outside your area that you may have to drive an hour, maybe even a little bit longer to. Go occasionally, a couple times a year, go visit them. When you're going by their place, develop a relationship with them, because when it comes time to sell, you're not going to want to have to deal with the online guys. That's just my opinion. Well, folks, I'd like to thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that save button and or the share button, I guess, and the subscribe button, and hit all those buttons except for that one. I don't know why Marcella put that there. I think baby needs new shoes. That's my guy that does my videos for me, edits them. Really not much to edit here, is there? Oh, anyways. All right, thanks for watching. I'm out here, and God, Marcella put that picture up. I put that up just to remain my anonymity, but I got to change that. But let me know what you think. Not so professional, huh? But oh well, I was having fun with it. You can catch me on Twitter here. Don't have a lot of followers. I back up my stuff on Rumble. Don't have a lot of followers out there. But if you ever find that you can't find me anywhere, you can likely find me on Twitter because it's one of the last and only free speech places, that and Rumble. The rest of them, not so much free speech, you know. But again, if you ever find me, if you can't find me here, you will absolutely more than likely be able to find me here or here. Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for calling. This is Brian Kuzmar. Thanks for calling. Thanks for watching. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. We're open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. If you live in South Florida, you don't need to order online. You don't need to go to any of the other local dealers. Well, you probably should, just to check them out, just to see how much better we are. And they're nice people too, don't get me wrong, but how much better our prices are and how much better our service is. And we strive to do that, actually, and we make sure that we're better than everyone else because, you know, you can't stay in business unless you work hard at it. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I will talk to you this week sometime soon. I'm not going to promise any more videos this week, but at least one a week, and I'm going to try to get myself back into the groove again. Again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.